You're listening to BFM 89.9, the business station.
Hello, this is Frida Liu and this is BFM 89.9. Next up on Tech Talk, we'll be continuing our talks about digital privacy with Krishna Rajagopal, the CEO of AKATI Consulting. And this week, we'll be discussing the tools that can help you keep your information away from prying eyes, or as I say, the evildoers. So, Krishna, let's start off with browser security. What can we do to ensure safer web browsing?
Hi, Frida. Well, the first thing is browser security is very important because, I will always say it can either save your job or your marriage. Yeah. And because some people think that they have nothing to hide, so they don't really bother about their browsing. Now, the first thing you got to do is try to use a private browsing feature. Yeah. There's been a long feature in the Apple Safari, but nowadays almost all major browsers have it. Firefox has it. I think in IE8 it's called in private. Yeah. You could use that. The next thing you could do is you could actually use something called a Secunia PSI software, yeah, and that will basically download to your machine, and it starts doing a scan to check if there's any funny, uninvited guests, yeah. When you talk about softwares, yeah, and whether the softwares are phoning back home or stuff like that, that's very important, yeah.
You can save your job or your marriage. Wait, okay. Are all web browsers safe to use?
Big question. Just a few days ago, I think Firefox 3.5 has a zero-day exploit. That means something that's not fixed. And web browsers have always been a point of attack. So, no, they're not safe to use. But we have no choice.
I tell you. Are there perhaps additional add-ons to ensure further safety?
Yes. See, for example, if you're Firefox users, I notice a lot of people use Firefox. Now, there's something called a simple add-on called Distrust. You could actually just download that, and you could actually use it.
It's called Distrust.
Distrust, yeah. The other thing is if you're using IE, right, there's a tool that you can actually download called Eraser. Now, what it does is it erases the internet cache, right, several times, so it's completely silent. Or you could also move the cache to a removable storage, a thumb drive, right? Just for the listeners, if they're scrambling around with the paper trying to write this down, you don't have to because it's on the blog. These links are actually on the blog.
Okay, on your blog?
Yes.
Okay, we'll talk about that a little later. And users always advise to use strong passwords. In your opinion, what is a strong password and does it work?
Yes. A strong password is something which has a good mix of alphanumeric, special characters, and stuff.
It shouldn't have your child's birthday,
no.
your wedding.
Yeah, my name is, since Kumar was very popular, so since Kumar, then Kumar 79 or something like that. That's a bad password, yeah? What we could also use is basically, I would always suggest you to use a software password manager, yeah? Okay. A good example would be KeePass, that's free. Right, which basically can generate a password for you. It can store passwords. It's also like a wallet. It can keep those passwords for you. That's very important.
Where is it stored?
Within the software itself, and it's a little encrypted file. So you can actually put it portable. So you can actually go to portableapps.com and download that. Put it in your thumb drive, carry it with you. All right. So what happens is, the other thing is, first generate a very secure password. Use it as your primary password. For different applications, have a different password. Now generate a second secure password. All right, and use that as your secret question. Of course, your mom is not going to appreciate to be identified as, Miss L33#5 asterisk or something. But then, at least nobody will know that is your actual name.
That's the part that's very tiring.
No, because what will happen is with that software, it's just a copy and paste. You don't actually have to type.
Okay, I finally found the solution. But the more complex it is, okay, right, again, like you say, it's hard to remember. What can the normal user do to help to remember?
The best thing to do is to use a password manager like this.
Okay.
Yeah, so it takes your mind off remembering it, yeah, and you just focus on it. Just make sure that thumb drive or that portable device that you're using is properly encrypted, and make sure that do not use a password manager that does not encrypt the Hive. Yeah.
The Hive. Yeah. So what is a portable operating system?
Oh, that's very interesting because that's something that you should have if you're very particular and you find yourself using a lot of public PCs. You could actually have a complete Windows operating system, for example, or Linux, on a thumb drive or on a external hard drive. And carry that with you. That's your laptop. So you plug it to a machine. As long as you can restart the machine, it runs now from your thumb drive or your portable hard drive. So you've got your little clam antivirus or your password managers and stuff like that in there, right? So what happens is, even if there's a Trojan, a keylogger, whatever it is on that machine, it's not going to affect you.
Okay. Hey, rewind. What is the hive?
The hive is where your passwords are stored.
The hive, the beehive.
Yep.
Okay, spelled that way.
Where the honey is.
I'm speaking to Krishna Rajagopal from AKATI Consulting in our Tech Talk segment on BFM 89.9. Welcome back. This is Frida Liu and this is Tech Talk on BFM 89.9. I'm speaking to Krishna Rajagopal from AKATI Consulting. We're continuing our discussion on digital privacy. Now, we've talked about social networking sites last week, and you pretty much said that it was a ticking time bomb of information. What must we do to secure ourselves if we simply cannot live without Facebook? And I speak for millions.
Well, the first thing, all right, there are 3 rules. Yeah? Rule number 1, try not to give any personal information out.
Okay.
Yeah? An interesting acquaintance that just asks you or pretends to know you, right? Try not to give those information out. Rule number 2, don't have your life story on your profile, right? Don't go to details. I like teh tarik kurang manis. Some people go to that detail. That means everything they do, right? What kind of phone they're using, what kind of car they're driving, and stuff like that. So don't do that. Yeah,
Car number.
Yeah, because people like to, I see the trend, especially in Malaysia, where they like to stand beside their car and take a photo, right? And then the car number plate is there, and if you have
full glory. Okay.
It's all the way. And the third thing is, be careful of what your friends are discussing, because sometimes you don't really get into trouble because of your profile, but your friends may have something, and they may be discussing something about you. All right, and that's very important. So as long as you maintain these 3 rules, you're fine. Facebook is okay.
The moral of the story: pick your friends carefully.
Yes. As Mama always says, yeah?
Could you explain the various scams used by criminals to gather information?
Oh, yeah, a lot. They've gone into various medias now, like what we've discussed last week, phishers, vishers, and twishers, right? So what happens is this. First of all, if someone is actually emailing you or trying to give you a deal that is way too good to be true, right, chances are it's not true.
It's usually a bank in Nigeria.
Right? Or
some politician who's been exiled, right?
Exiled, he's got 250 million and he wants to give it to you, but you got to pay $1,000 first.
Okay.
Something like that. Or an offer of signing up or meeting a group, right? Try not to get too excited. Yeah, the online world is not always rosy, and if it's something that ticks you and says, hey, this is too good to be true, chances are it's not true.
And isn't it just common sense to ignore these kind of emails?
Yes, but then the problem is a lot of people at that point in time allow their greed to take over. And they go like, what if I have that 250 million? I could have a Hummer limo and live like a rap star. A Harley. And the idea is, most of these cases that I see, it's greed that takes over. We've had some clients, personal people that I know of, they've been scammed and still being scammed for over 6 years now. And they do not want us to help them. They say, no.
Maybe they deserve it.
Yeah. They're like, no, I'm still going to get my money. You just wait and see.
You wait.
So
we'll see. How can you prevent data loss through mobile phones and laptops?
That's very important, because one thing is for sure, just like recently in the US elections, when the McCain group, basically what happened was they're trying to get rid of their old Blackberries, and then people could just get, old SMSs and emails and stuff like that. They should have learned that from Obama's group. But what happened is, there is a website you could actually go. It's on our blog again. It's called Recellular Data Eraser. Now, this page gives you instructions for different mobile phone types on how to format your phone before selling it. Make sure you do that.
Okay. And your blog is on your website?
Yes, akati.com.
Yeah. Okay, akati.com. And how does one deal with the threat of spyware or malware?
Okay. First of all, obviously, you got to have the basics. Firewall, which probably comes with Windows nowadays. An anti-spyware, right? Something like Windows Defender, or perhaps better than that. But be careful of fake anti-malwares. Yeah? For example, if these names sound familiar, it's innovation.
Okay.
For example, names like Drive Cleaner, WinFixer, Antivirus XP, Antivirus 2009, they're all fake. Yeah, they'll often entice you and they'll price it like $29, $30, $40. So you'll be like, wow, and that's like $90, this is $40. Greed takes over and you go like, okay, $40. And what happens is you're downloading a Trojan. So be careful of that. So always, for example, a lot of people ask me, say, Krishna, what do I do if I find a file and I'm not sure, is this a virus-infected file or not, right? Then the best thing to do is basically you should go to virustotal.com, all right? It's a website. You can upload a file. 35 different virus engines will scan that file and tell you positive or negative. And it's free.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's magic word, free. Well, that's where greed takes over again. All right. Last week we talked about how the onion ring can be used by criminals. Now, is there a way us common good people can use it for privacy?
Yes, you can. You could actually use it for privacy, and it's pretty good. What you could do is go to the Onion Ring's website, right? The link is on our website as well. Go there, and you could actually download a package. It's called a bundle called the Vidalia, Vidalia. Install it for Windows or Mac or whatever. And then you could also install a Firefox extension for it, and it works out of the box, yeah? Now, if you want to tweak it, then it requires some technical knowledge on that. But what it does is each packet now goes through a different route. The enforcement won't be too happy with me announcing it, but then yes. So what happens is the end server will never know where you came from. So that is for privacy. All right. As I mentioned, of course, it's also used for criminals, but for personal privacy, it will be a good thing because prying eyes, web servers that try to be too snoozy and detect all your personal information will not be able to do it using Tor.
And so how can people get more information around this topic?
Well, first you could go to our blog, that's akati.com, akati.com, and click on Warlock. The links that I mentioned today is all on the blog. Number two is we're actually running a workshop for network security, for the techies who want to go into network security and really specialize and be a master in it. We have a network security masterclass on August 4th. So you could call us at 2096-9363. Right, that's 2096-9363.
And I guess the contact us on the website.
Yes, definitely. And those that who are not techies and they're interested to look, I'm a parent. How do I teach my kid to surf safely? Right, we're actually going to run a training program on online privacy and safety. It's called Security Awareness for Everyone, SAFE. Different versions of it, yeah. And we'll be running it soon. And they could contact us on that same number, 2096-9363, and to get more information.
I've been speaking to Krishna Rajagopal from AKATI Consulting in our Tech Talk segment on BFM 89.9.
BFM 89.9, the business station.